Hello, everybody. It's me, the Dragon King. Welcome to Dragon King 72 Media LLC on YouTube, Dragon King 72 Media LLC on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, X. If you've read the caption already, you know this video is going to be Karmelo Anthony and his guilty verdict. And he was also sentenced to 35 years in prison. They said he's not going to be eligible for parole until he served at least half of that sentence, which is about 17 years. So, you know, they deliberated. It only took them 3.5 hours. Okay, it only took 3.5 hours, and I'm assuming that they were basing on what evidence that they saw and what they believed was the situation open and shut. There's so many problems, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there was an all-white jury. None of those white people were of his peers. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a jury of your peers, I guess. Not in Texas, you know, unless you're white, or unless you're a more favorable minority. And none of those white people were around his age, because he's about 19. Karmelo Anthony is, and everybody was white, so there was no diverse. There was no diverse. There was no diverse jury, and so now you have somebody who, you know, is facing an uphill battle, like literally walking up Mount Everest with no, just regular shoes on, and so he had to deal with that. And there's also a rumor, I don't know how true it is, that the prosecuting attorney, and the judge, and the other gentleman who was slain, his father, they were all great friends. Let me repeat it: the prosecuting attorney, the judge, and I'm quite sure maybe somebody on that jury too, who was a friend, slipped in on that jury. I wouldn't doubt it. It's Texas, and so they all went. They all know each other. And you go on Instagram, you can go on Facebook, you can go all the different places and see all of them in a photo together. With one of them, the one that's being generated the most is all those three men, including the slain, the mother of the slain young man. They are all, they're all. They're in a picture together. So Karmelo Anthony didn't have a chance, guilty or not. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have had a chance. But like I said, I am quite sure that somebody, a good friend of all those three gentlemen and the family of the slain individual, one of their friends or friends made it to a jury selection and became one of the jurors. So hopefully they'll appeal it, but ask to go to a different county or go to the same county. But I would definitely appeal it, because I feel like that's the only way that he'll be able to win an appeal. But then again, they all know each other down there in Texas. You know what I'm saying? All the southern rednecks, they know each other down there. And yeah. And it's just funny how Karmelo goes to jail for what, you know, there was self-defense. And they said his own witness kind of threw him under the bus. Maybe they got intimidated. You know, maybe they was being threatened by the family. You know, by the family or somebody else. You know, that's a strong possibility in Texas. in a high profile case like that. Come on, Duke. In a high profile case like that, um, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that I would not be surprised if the witness for Carmelo Anthony um, got threatened, you know what I'm saying, or got thrown under the bus. Like I said, I don't know for sure, but it's highly possible and less speculative than you would believe. And so, yeah, so he was sentenced. I mean, and let me just say that, and I'm sure somebody gonna come in my comment section. But let me just say, I went to a lot of places to see what the vibe was. With come on, I went to a lot of places to see what the vibe was. In the comment section of different videos and what people are talking about and things like that, and it was very the amount of racism that is in these comment sections that I've seen is astronomical. It's astronomical. I've even had Indian people, I'm talking from India, saying the most racist fucking comments about black folks because everybody wants to be white. Everybody wants to be white. All these minorities think they better than black folks because they want that proximity to whiteness. And the best way to do that is what? To adopt that white supremacy mentality when it comes to black people. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And I'm just really not surprised. This is what it is out here. And so he's got 35 years. They can't consider him, like I said, for parole until he's done at least 17. Come on, dude. Until he's done at least 17. And, some white man was saying that, and, you having good parents is not a guarantee of nothing, no matter who you are. But some white man, he had a problem with his Carmelo Anthony's mother on a video that I had seen, that she was saying that she's an educated woman and that, she didn't raise a thug, yada, yada, yada. And he says, well, that has nothing to do with your son being a murderer. I'm quite sure that this is the same type of man that would not have said that about a white woman if she had said the same thing about they coming from a good family, yada, yada, yada. And we all have seen, situations where somebody might come from a good home, but they turn out to be horrible people. Drugs, prostitution, gangs, murder, but I'm just appalled at the fact that he, had it been a white woman saying that, he wouldn't have, he probably would have rallied behind her and not even said a word about it. The commentary probably would have been, oh, he just cares. She cares about her son. She gave him a good life, yada, yada, yada. This can't be true. But I keep seeing more and more often than not, a lot of black people are saying that it is us against everybody else out here. And as much as I want to give other folks that are not black the benefit of the doubt, I'm starting to believe that shit is true. We've always kind of known it in the back of our mind, especially black men. You know what I'm saying? Black women as well, black mothers, daughters, grandmothers, we've always kind of known it. But it was somewhere in the back of our heads. Like, just as a, what if, or it could be. Because, black people, we're giving people the benefit of the doubt that this time they're going to treat me right, or this time I'm going to be done right, or this time I'm going to be supported. And it's just like, none of that shit happens. So now, like I said, you start to think. So you start to think that, um, you know, it's absolutely true what they are saying. So I'm not really surprised that it's happening. How you doing? I'm not really surprised. Um, and I'm thinking that what they're saying is the absolute truth. We want to believe that it's not, because we've been raised to embrace those kind of, people. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that sometimes our own people do things to us, but we still don't give up on them. Come on, what? I'm going to. We still don't give up on them. We still love our black folks. You know what I'm saying? Because we just do, right? And what dog is that? No, I ain't seen him. Hope you find him. Do we got any tags on him? And so, yeah, it's hard to believe, but then we get treated by a white person sometimes, and I'm not. Trust me, this is not what you think it is. Then we like, okay, they did me right. Why can my own people do me right, right? But then we meet another black person who's so good to us. So it happens. People are individuals, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it all goes back to these fucking politics. Donald Trump, MAGA, they have given people the green light, this country, to just be divided. I don't, all the kumbayas and shit, you know what I'm saying? I just, you were like, enough is enough already. Like, one week, a black young man is slain. The next one, he's not. You got Chinese people on. The other one goes to jail. You got Asian people. They're saying some of the most despicable shit. Not that nobody's surprised. Black people are surprised, but within the last couple of weeks, they've been saying some of the most despicable shit. And it's this situations will bring out truth tellers. Situations like this will bring out the truth. It will reveal the truth about how people feel about us black people. And it's only getting worse. And this country is going to be forever divided. There will be no unity of races in this country. The only way that would happen would be an alien invasion. And I don't see that happening at all. I don't see the unity happening. So, and it's unfortunate. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on. Come on, dude. And I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. So this country is never going to be unified. And we will have to force ourselves to figure something else out. But we're not going to end up as a unified country because we're so divided. We're not going to be the country that we're supposed to be. We're going to be forever divided. And so the best we can do is just, I don't know, just Let's try to be more civil. But I don't see this country getting rid of racism. I don't see this country getting rid of bigotry. I don't. It's always going to be there, and you're always going to have racism being the catalyst, race being the catalyst. And like I said, I don't understand. I've said it before, but I don't understand why a lot of minorities, you would spike black people just to have that white proximity, just to have that accessibility. And there are a lot of Asians on these social media apps after the Rick Cho verdict. They saw it for what it was. They saw the bullshit. They saw the fact that it was murder. It was complete fucking murder. This wasn't something that they were trying to get points for. They were trying to get in good with the black community. No, and you can see that, you can feel that in the video. They weren't trying. It wasn't disingenuous. It was real when they said it was fucking murder. You know. But it's hard to not blame a whole community, you know what I'm saying, when all this for racism. You know what I'm saying? And the whole boycott thing, people have boycotted for years. You know, it doesn't really it may change. I've decided myself, do I need to continue to shop in Asian food stores? You know, when I had longer hair, I would go into the Asian beauty supply stores. But it's funny how it takes something like this to realize just how many black-owned beauty supply stores there is. Because before this incident, I knew that they existed, but I had no idea before the Rick Chow thing had happened. But yeah, this Karmelo Anthony thing is you know the family of the slain individual, they've lost their son. A twin has lost his brother, his twin. You've got Karmelo Anthony's. His years as a young person gonna be wiped out. You know, if he's 19 now, 17, he's gonna be in there when he was 30, 36 years old, 37, somewhere around there. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. You know. But the judicial system is crooked. It's very crooked. Like I said, and I'm gonna stand on business, he didn't have a chance. Because, you know, even with the witness saying it didn't happen the way that's speculative. I mean, you know, the witnesses can be intimidated. They can say stupid shit sometimes, get caught up on the witness stand, and that's why they get cross-examined, so they can get caught up and say something either that is not all the way factual or trip them up, so they end up saying something that's not true when they meant to say what was. That's cross-examination 101. Defense attorneys, prosecutor attorneys, it's designed to tear you to pieces. It's designed to tear your story up. It's designed to make you think you meant something else when you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. Or say something else when you didn't want to. That's how it's designed. So the whole witness thing. But But the all-white jury is my problem. Like, whatever happened to a jury of your peers? Because if it was an all-white jury and that's what's being reported, that's not a jury of his peers. That's not a jury of his peers. So, like I said, his whole, his case was dead on arrival when they had an all-white jury, and the father of the slain gentleman, uh, the district attorney and the judge, they all knew each other. You know what I'm saying? His whole case was dead on arrival. No pun intended. But hey, you know. But as far as the race thing, I keep seeing, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. This country will never come together. This country is never coming together. It is not doing that. And Trump had a lot of he had a lot to do with that. This country is never coming together. Racism will not be gone. I don't give a fuck. And don't think just because the Knicks or the Knicks might win in New York that New York is gonna come together and kumbaya and unity in the streets of Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, and Staten Island. No. Same thing down there in San Antonio. Nah. And that's where we at. And that is not gonna change anytime soon. It's gonna be fucking racism, bigotry, anti-LGBTQIA+. Baby, it's just going to be fucking, that is the world we live in. We can't fight it as hard as we try. We ain't gonna be able to fight it. We just not. But at the end of the day, this country is fucked up. It's fucked up. Yeah, this country is so fucked up. And that's all I wanted to say. So wrapping up, Karmelo Anthony found guilty of murder. He got 35 years. He won't be eligible to parole until he's done at least a half of that sentence, according to the lawyers. One lawyer was saying that maybe if he'd got on the stand, he would have got some sympathy and told why he had the knife, why he felt he was being threatened, and he may have gotten some sympathy and got manslaughter instead of murder. But I think that wouldn't have been the case either. He still probably would have gotten. Dude, we gotta find your dog tags. He still would have probably gotten murder. I mean, cause look at the people. Like I said, a jury of his peers. Nah, he didn't have it wasn't a jury of his peers. They were all white. They were almost twice as old as he was, and like I said, I believe that one of the judge's friends, one of the slain father's friends, the prosecuting attorney's friends, they made their way to their jury. I absolutely believe they made their way to that jury box. That's what I believe. I mean, just it's not an unacceptable thought that you couldn't believe it, because that's what I believe. That is exactly what I believe. But anyway, y'all don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And like I said, I'm sure somebody gonna try to catch me hell up in here, but guess what? I don't give a shit. And come on, we finna go check for your. So I'm sure somebody gonna say some racist shit in the comments, but go right ahead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Peace out.